You're watching Euronews Now. I'm Takumba Silako with your top stories. Ukrainian officials say at least 1,500 people have been killed in Donetsk as Russia intensifies its attacks on cities in the east. Donald Trump will address the NRA's annual rally in Texas later after police revealed the gunman who attacked a primary school wasn't confronted by armed guards. Also in the programme, Liverpool are preparing to take on Real Madrid in Saturday's Champions League final. We'll look ahead to that clash of football's titans.
At least 9 civilians were killed and 19 wounded after a bloody bombardment of the city of Kharkiv. Russian bombs have once again left a trail of death in Ukraine's second city, back under Ukrainian control. However, it is the opposite in the eastern regions, Donetsk and Luhansk. In the latter, the governor has said only 5% is under Ukrainian rule. Ukraine acknowledged Russian superiority in the area and claimed that Russia has the upper hand. The US government is preparing to send long-range rocket systems, but it may already be too late for these regions.
Putting pressure on Russia is literally a matter of saving lives. And every day of delay, weakness, various debates or proposals to pacify the aggressor at the expense of the victim means more killed Ukrainians. These are new threats to everyone on our continent.
Ukraine has stated that up to 8,000 soldiers have been taken prisoner by the Russians. The Ukrainian authorities hope to be able to carry out prisoner exchanges with Russia in order to reclaim them. In the Poltava region, 2 more Russian soldiers have been sentenced to prison for war crimes. Both admitted responsibility and will serve 12 years in prison. In Russian-occupied areas such as Mariupol, the Russification operation, as described by the Moscow authorities, has begun. For children, the summer holidays will be suspended in order for them to adapt to the curriculum. For adults, these trucks, which disseminate service information, drive around Mariupol to give the Russian version of the war.
By now, he needs no introduction. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has become the symbol of a country and of an ideal.
At the moment, he's a symbol, not only for our entire country, but for the whole world, a symbol of a fight against an aggressor. We don't just hope, we believe that everything will be better.
They were made to believe that, in part by a former actor, who before becoming famous grew up here, in one of Kryvyi Rih's working neighborhoods.
Of course I met him. He played football with my kid. He's such a funny guy. I don't know him personally, but my son tells me so. I think he's brave and simple. It doesn't look like he's corrupt in any way. That's what I think. God bless him.
I think they're very lucky with the current president. Everything he does is great.
A very good man, a conscientious man. We trust him, we are proud of him. He united the whole world, and we believe that everything will be fine with us.
Всім добрий вечір. Лідер фракції тут.
When Russia invaded Ukraine, Zelensky famously said he didn't want a ride out of the country. He wanted help to defend it. Since then, he's been rallying the world for military and financial support, and some here believe helping transform it in the process.
Because of Russian aggression, because of Russian war, have considered that international laws don't work. Balance of powers don't work. International organizations like United Nations don't work. They can't stop aggression. So we should build a new system of international relations. And Volodymyr Zelensky is one of the people who built this new international relations.
While his country continues fighting against the world's fifth largest army, Zelensky is already part of Ukraine's biggest victory so far, grabbing the world's attention and not letting it go. Annelies Borges in Kryvyi Rih for Euronews.
In the aftermath of the horrific shooting at a school in Texas that left 19 children and 2 teachers dead, more details are emerging. There had been reports that the gunman, Salvador Ramos, encountered a school district security officer outside, but police now say the 18-year-old entered the school unobstructed.
It was reported that a school district police officer confronted the suspect that was making entry. Not accurate. He walked in unobstructed initially. So from the grandmother's house to the bar ditch to the school, into the school, he was not confronted by anybody.
President Joe Biden is due to visit Uvalde on Sunday. He's calling for Congress to pass laws tightening access to guns.
90% of gun owners support universal background checks, 84% of Republicans, and 80% of NRA members support background checks. As the president said this week, it is time to turn this pain into action. It's time for Congress to act.
The legislation before the Senate.
But despite those claims, a law Biden's Democrats intended to bring in to limit access to firearms was rejected outright by Republicans. They believe that access to guns is not to blame for this type of shooting. Their mantra is that it's people who shoot people and point to the right to bear arms enshrined in the US Constitution. Activists hope to increase pressure on the streets and that the magnitude of this tragedy, coupled with the approaching midterms, will force some Republicans to reconsider their positions.
Signed the treaties that allow for the colony.
10 years ago, when another young man shot up an elementary school in New England, killing 20 students and 6 teachers, the country was so shocked it was assumed there would be action in the form of anti-gun legislation, and nothing happened. Now, with the Texas shooting under investigation, with parents wondering why it took police so long to respond, Republicans are accusing Democrats of trying to politicize a sad tragedy, and Democrats are responding that the time for action is now. The president, who'll be visiting Texas, has been in this struggle for a long time. During his long career as a senator, he championed legislation to ban the sale of the type of weapons used in the Uvalde, Texas killings, a ban which eventually expired and, with rising Republican power on Capitol Hill, could not be extended. Just a couple of 100 miles away from Uvalde, the National Rifle Association, the country's largest pro-gun owner group, will be meeting in national convention. There have been several defections, cancellations, including Don McLean of American Pie fame and 2 famous country music performers. They say they still support the Second Amendment. They just don't feel it would be appropriate to speak to the NRA at this time, keeping his appointment to speak to the gun group, former President Donald Trump. In Washington, I'm Ray Suarez for Euronews.
The football season finale takes place on Saturday night with the eagerly awaited Champions League final between Liverpool and Real Madrid. The match will be played at the Stade de France in Paris. Only 20,000 fans from each side will be allowed in, yet police expect as many as 40,000 more Liverpool fans to turn up.
I arrived in Paris yesterday and I need a ticket. I have no ticket. So if anyone has a ticket, I need a ticket. I need 4 tickets.
Claro.
Obviously, it's the Champions League. This kind of match doesn't happen often. The opportunity to come here and see 2 great teams, Real Madrid and Liverpool, it's unmissable.
El Real Madrid y el Liverpool y es imperdible.
I think Liverpool will win 3-1. Sadio Mane with 2 goals. Salah with the other one. Liverpool win 3-1.
I'll say 1-1 after 90 minutes and then may the best team win. For those not able to get into the stadium, the city's set up separate fan zones where they can gather to watch their teams on giant screens.
We're going to take a little break in the programme, but we'll be back with more news and analysis after this break.